this for future posterity, so that way others can learn by watching this. The old one is based on the version 1.0, so that's fairly outdated. So this is going to be the newest version. To each of you, I've sent a updated checklist, and also kind of like an edited checklist, since you guys are veterans at this, to your telegrams, and you can take a look at it there in terms of what to look for. Actually, let me just pop it in real quick so we can take a look at it. So in terms of how to use the Indicator Pro, the principles are still the same in terms of almost any entry. This is what I typically do. I want to know the general overall trend of the market. So each and every morning, I want to get a sense of whether today is going to be bullish or bearish. And then even go down to the overall trend in a particular sector. So Robert, you may have to, how are airlines doing today? Or tech, or minerals, if you're playing like CLF or FCX, those are, when it's trending bullish, those are the times to get into those particular trades, because you're rarely going to lose, and if anything, you'll catch a pop. And I've done that all along, just digging it along the way. So get to know the trend, be familiar with the trend, and see that it's syncing up with the overall market. And then what is the overall trend of the stock? Okay, I'll go over that part definitely. I typically say, hey, put in 2% of your total portfolio if you're going in a vertical spread, and then scale into a maximum of 5% on an uptrend. And that is a maximum on any given stock or option trade. I've broken that rule a few times, but typically, this is for risk management. Dollar cost averaging if you're actually getting into stocks, and especially if they drop 5%. So on my SoFi partial account that I post up on Discord, the other day, I think Tesla and SE were down like 6.9 and 7. And I was like, ooh, perfect sale. So I just went in and bought like $25 of each. And sure enough, both of them went up. So this is what you want to do with stocks. But if you're going to buy into additional options and you want to average down, make sure there is an upward trend on the chart of that particular stock, and another buy signal pops. Okay, because if the first buy signal was like a false buy signal, the second one would be a likelier a true buy signal. So you want to see this before you get back in to that particular trade. Know your support and resistance. I usually use the Fibonacci retracement. We'll go over that. And then the stop loss. I think, Derek, you're the one who asked me about how to set alerts on TradingView for that stuff. So I'll show you, remind me to show you how to set the top line, bottom line, and also actually set alerts on the Indicator Pro. So when it flashes buy signal early in the morning, it'll pop as an alert on your TradingView, and it'll show it up. It'll show up on, like right over here. No, hello. Here we go. Alerts. It'll pop right here, and it'll tell you buy XPEV, X, DraftKings, whatever, and it'll just pop. If there are certain prices, it'll pop like this. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that. And this is something that after about, 10 minutes of constantly going over it, you'll memorize it. It's very easy. It's also very common sense. So when we're looking at the indicator, we want to see if it's for bullish. We want to see if the candle is actually tall and green. Okay, you don't want short candles. Is there a doji like before the buy signal popped up? Confirmation number 3, is the candle breaking or is it above the yellow line? We'll go over that part. You'll see it actually on the chart. Is the candle above the Fibonacci cloud? Okay, so we'll go over that. Fibonacci retracement, is it bouncing off a support? Okay, and again, overall trend. Overall trend is up, and it's for that particular stock. Okay, the overall trend, is it up? And better yet, if you see a modified golden cross, that's another confirmation. Is it above average volume? And if it's big volume, kind of like give it 2 points over here. And finally, is it in line with the trend of the market sector stock? So again, what you did over here at the top, you want to make sure that it lines up over here. So for example, if you pick a stock like Lemonade, you know, the market is bullish, and actually the market is bullish, sector is bullish, stock is bearish. And then all of a sudden you see this thing, you know, turning bullish, okay? Or actually it should be the other way around. So if the trend of the market and the sector is going against the stock that you're looking at, actually, this is correct, okay? If it's going against the flow, you have to be really careful about it and really, you know, go in knowing that it's a very risky trade, okay, because you're going against the flow, okay? So
would comparing like having a reference to, say, those sector indicators, ETFs, those like XLK, XL, I can't remember the other ones. Is that a good thing to then like kind of compare that with?
Yeah, you could add it if you want. And I'll show you how to do multiple windows as well, okay? So that's what we're gonna go over. And let me start by breaking it down at its basic level. This, actually, I should turn off this one too. This is the Stock Indicator Pro. That's the Pine script that I wrote. What is it doing? It's taking moving averages, exponential moving average in mind, and the candle readings, the candle formations to be able to give you the buy and sell signals. Okay. Now, obviously, the buy and sell signals are just signals. It's not something that you just automatically go in, you know, with eyes closed and just like a robot. Okay, buy, sell. This would have worked out really well, but down over here, when the candles are really, really short, you would have been just paying a lot of commissions, and that's about it. Walk away flat. So this is what you want, something like this. Oh, this is great. Buy. Here's a sell right here, and you have this huge movement up on the uptrend. So here's a downtrend that you would have caught. This would have been fairly flat on a daily trade, on a swing trade anyway. It would have been fairly flat with your option trading. Okay. Now, this is what you're looking for. The whole point of it is, instead of trying to read each and every single candle, you're looking at the sell sign. So for example, if you were to look at this one right here, okay, let's say this signal wasn't there, right? What candle formation is that? It's a bearish reversal. Or yeah. Are you guys familiar with the strategy?
Somewhat.
Someone? Okay. So if I click the strat assistant, this is what it gives me. It gives me the 2-1-2 formation, and that 2-1-2 is a bearish reversal. Okay. So instead of trying to look at every single, here we go. Instead of trying to look at every single candle and try to figure it out yourself, you're just looking and flipping through. So for example, I have a whole bunch of stocks on my chart, on my stock list, right? I don't want to be looking at every single candle and try to translate. I just want to be able to flip it through like this and be able to, in one split second, get a glance of, hey, this is a good stock that I need to pay attention to, right? So that's the whole point of it. It's, it has the inner workings of, you know, technical trading. It just makes it as neat and clean, like it were the face of an iPhone. That's what it is, right? So this is what you have, okay? And those buy signals pop mainly because it's based upon the candle formation. So here's your sell. It's a follow through from this doji. Here's a buy signal based upon the 2-1-2 formation. Here's a doji, and the next one is down, so here's the sell. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is the stock indicator. Now, let me get rid of this. We want to be able to find confirmation because these things over here, look at this. When it was fairly flat, like right there, look at this, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. If you got onto all of these things over here, you'd just be wasting a lot of money. So you want to be able to find and identify these type of movements as much as possible. So how do we do that? Well, let's look at, is that turned on? Oh, that's turned on. So this is your 9-day moving average right there, that blue line. Okay, so what I'm looking for is for the yellow line crossing over down to the blue line. So whenever this crosses over like that, that's an indicator or a confirmation that it's on a downtrend. Okay, so I like to have that. Fibonacci clouds. Okay, if you pull back, overall Tesla is obviously in an upward move. And you want to be able to have this type of strip right here. If you can find yourself in a strip where, even with that dip, okay, you find a strip where everything, notice how it's reddish, all different shades of red right here. It flattens out right here. And then all of a sudden you see these 3 strips unfurl. And it goes green, 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 or 3 different shades of green. So when this happens, this is another good indicator. This is what Fibonacci clouds does, is it gives you a very visual representation of that the trend is moving in the right way. Short-term, mid-term, long-term, all 3 trends are very bullish, are very green over here. Okay, and the further and further they go apart, that's even better. Okay, so that's where Fibonacci clouds come in. Okay, and on a daily basis, notice this right here. So if you saw this sell signal, right? So let's say you wrote it from, so you skipped this one because the candle was kind of small, and let's look at the volume now. The candle was kind of small. Look at the volume. It wasn't impressive. Okay, so you practice self-discipline and you hold off, and you're waiting basically over a week before, and it's constantly going up, and you're like, oh man, what do I do? Here's earnings, boom. And then the second day there's a buy signal. So you got great earnings right here. Actually, there was a $250,000 surprise because, what was the surprise for the revenue? Do you remember? It wasn't a big deal. That much I remember. It wasn't a big deal, right? And so what happens then is, look at the volume here. So after the earnings, you have this and this. There's a buy signal, right? So let's take a look at this, right? Is it a long candlestick? Yes. Is it above the yellow line? Yes. Is it above the blue line? Way above it. Is it above Fibonacci? Yes. Volume, is it above average? It's high, but it's not like way above average. It's not like here, right? It's right there. But it generally is good. So here you could have taken a chance and say, okay, this is a good buy signal. I'm going to use this as the initial clarion call, and this is the confirmation. So you could have jumped in right here, okay? And then in the next day, this is what you have. Boom, you have the high volume. So if you were a little skittish and you did not get in here, you could have gotten in anywhere here from 880, oh my gosh, 1046. Maybe around like 1,000 or under 1,000 you could have gotten in, right? And then this is what happens the next day, okay? Now try to forget everything about Tesla and just look at the charts. Okay, you see this. Now, let's say you got in at 980 and the price in the middle of the day went up to 1080. That's 100 points. Okay, when you look at your account and you see the dollar value, what are you tempted to do?
Sell.
Sell.
Lock it in. Any green is better than any red. Okay, that's what we say to newbies. Okay, but you don't want to lock it in until it actually gives you a sell sign. That's the beauty of the indicator. It allows you to stay in a little bit longer and to get out a little bit earlier than you normally would. Okay, you rarely get the top. I mean, maybe one time out of every 2 years, you might hit the top, like hitting the lottery or something like that.
Yeah. Feels good when you do it, though.
It feels good. It feels awesome when you do it. Yeah, I did that on the Amazon day trade today, and when I hit that 1,000, I was like, "Oh man, that was awesome." So, and this is again you not watching the screen all day long. This is purely for swing trading. Okay, so after work you come, and this is what you see. Now notice higher highs, higher lows. Look at the candle. Look at how wide it is. Most people would say, hey, you know what? This is overextended. Let's look at the fib retracement only works at the front end. If you turn on the fib retracement, the 1.62 would be like maybe like over here, like right there maybe, because you started right there, right? And you're like way overextended. Okay, so every fiber of your body will tell you to sell. At this point, it's like, oh, tomorrow morning, as soon as it goes down, I'm selling. Okay. The stock indicator basically is saying, don't, just hold on. You know, it could go down, yeah, and you didn't sell it early enough, yeah, but you know what? We want to be in it when we actually have the upward movement and can catch as much as possible. So the next day, another candle formation, 3 white soldiers, 3 white soldiers, 3 white soldiers. That's very, very bullish. That's another huge confirmation, okay? So volume is drying up, but it's still going up. All right, good. It hasn't even touched the blue line, okay? As a matter of fact, if the yellow starts crossing into the blue, that's where you want to get worried. Look at that. Who would have thought? Only Tesla. That's not true.
It's crazy.
Look at that. So if you got in here, didn't watch the stock for, what is that, a week and a half, you would have been like way up there. Okay. Now, what do you think that means?
Potential reversal.
Now, if the color wasn't there, you would just see it as green.
Yeah.
Okay, the regular, if you do the regular candles, not Fibonacci, it wouldn't show it like that. Actually, watch this. Huh. Hey, look, it's bullish. That's awesome. Let's keep pressing on. But it's purple. What does purple mean? In short, buyers and sellers are really duking it out. But there is a presence of sellers like before, not like before. Okay, so this is kind of like a yellow light on a traffic stop. Now, shorter candle. It's still green, right? Lower volume. So you really want to watch out now. Okay, can you hold on? Again, don't sell until you see the sell sign. So let's say you sold it at the close and it closed at 1160 and you sold it there because the sell sign has been on all day long and somehow you hesitated to sell it. Maybe you wanted to hold on to it, but the sell sign came in. Okay, don't look for A confirmations. This is where you want to lock in the prices, your profit. You started from here. 880, 899, okay, 900, and you're locking it at 1160, as opposed to selling it here, 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 anywhere in between. Looks good? Questions?
Awesome.
That's pretty good.
So this one, actually, you could have gone into a sell right there and done this. Here's a buy. So you get out of this, you could have gotten in there. And the moment you see a doji, that's, look at how wide it is from here, 1180 to 1064, and it ends basically where it started. That's a major indecision. And the next day, we have the sell sign. So you would have made some, not a whole lot. Okay, so what do you think will happen tomorrow?
Nothing, because it's closed.
Ding! That would have been a good trick question. Actually, I forgot that it's Thanksgiving tomorrow. What do you think will happen Friday morning?
Probably open down.
Yeah, you should see a reversal, a retracement.
Because this is also a 212 reversal.
Yeah.
There's a sell signal. Okay. I mean, are there times when you see a sell signal and then the next day it goes up? Yeah, there are. But generally, when you see a sell signal, it's going to be another down candle. Okay. Now, so you have volume. Let's do this now. Let me get rid of that. Auto fib retracement. Okay, so if you don't have it, you can go into the indicators and search for auto fib retracement. It has to be auto fib retracement. I saved it as a favorite, so it's easy to find. Click that, and it'll load up onto your system if it has not. Okay, now how many of you have used this before?
I've tried to use it, but like I don't have a great understanding of it.
Okay. Let me see. This is kind of hard to see. Let me do this. So when you go to settings, you can actually change some of the stuff. Label position on the right will be easier. Okay. These are the numbers that are most important right here. 382, 618, actually not 786. Where is 618? Where is 8? Yeah, okay, 786. I rarely use it. You have 1.5236, 382. No, why are these on? Minus 6.18. Any others that I may use? Yeah, those are the main ones. So those are the ones that I check. I would have the labels on the right side so it's easier to read. And then there's a reverse button which I'll show you how that works. Okay. Bingo. All righty. You can check the video also if you want to kind of review it. All right. So to make it cleaner, this is what I like to do. So here is on a daily chart, and I typically don't use Fibonacci retracement on anything lower than a day. Okay, my personal preference. That's it. There's nothing to pontificate over that. So on a daily chart, I use this. On the 10-minute day trading thing, I only use the Fibonacci clouds. That's and the volume. That's it. So when you look at this number, these are basically my support lines. This is where I would draw my support lines. And I'm looking at this, for example, and let's say on Friday, if I wanted to trade it, if it, at this juncture, I would say that if it breaks 1079, okay, I see it as a higher probability that it's going to go all the way down to 978. Okay, you can draw the 236, which is right around there. So it'd be 1079, 1035, 978. So that would be kind of like my, not a target. Those would be markers for me for support and resistance. Okay, if the price all of a sudden jumped on a daily and it jumped from 1116 all the way to $1,400, okay, that's a huge jump. The moment I see any sign of weakness, the moment I see a doji, the moment I see this formation, see this thing before the sell sign? the moment I see this, an inside bar, this is what you call it, an inside bar. So you have this one being nice and long, you include the wick, and including the wick, the closing and the open and the close are within these two right here, okay? And it's on a lower volume, and there's no movement going further up. And if it's at 1.68 and above, I would be looking at like a hawk to try to sell it around here so that I can avoid selling it down here. Because in Tesla, the difference between one and the other is like 40 bucks, right? Mm-hmm. So these are the, the numbers that I would work for. Okay, I would look at. Okay, so now I can't watch every particular stock. Tesla is one of the ones that I day trade anyway. So what I would be watching it anyway. But if I were not watching and it was another stock like a DT or CVX or something like that, Derek, this is for you. Okay, and this is very easy for you guys to do it on TradingView. Do you see this plus sign right here?
Yep. Right
there. So at 1079, or close to it, 1080, I will press the plus sign, and I will get an alert for Tesla at 1080.54, alert on the stock buy indicator, on the MA, on the whatever, right? Oh, if you connect your platform to TradingView, you can actually click like buy or sell, okay? But this is all I use it for. I set an alert right there. And it's done. One click and you're done. Okay. I don't have to worry about this. Actually, on Friday is only half a day, but if you were a full day, I may put, yeah, I didn't reach here. So I may put another alert around like 11:42 right there as another trigger for me in order to go long on that stock. At least I would look for it to go long, okay? So that's how I would kind of set my support and resistance on any given stock using that, okay? Now, another thing that you can do with this is that you can reverse the auto fib retracement so that the numbers are, wait, did it just change or did it not change? Yes, it did. Okay, here we go. So you can flip it down or do it right side up. With Tesla, because it's kind of like middle range, it doesn't make that big of a difference. What would make a big difference right here? Let's look at Zoom. Okay, so this is how it looks in terms of the Fibonacci. But let me unreverse it. Boom. Right there. So that doesn't help because it doesn't give me a whole lot of levels here. All right, so let's reverse it. Well, that doesn't help either. Okay. Which is a better one to about? They're all working. Okay, so if ever you find yourself in a situation where the Fibonacci levels are like way off and it doesn't match it, try reversing it. Okay. I don't use it often, but try it.
I did see that. I was looking at a chart and I remember seeing that happen once and wasn't sure what to do.
Oh yeah, okay. So try reversing it and see if it's helpful that way. Okay. How many people know how to draw a auto fib manually or Fibonacci levels manually?
Yeah, I do.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else? All right. So you want to teach us, David?
Sure. So let's see. Usually what I do when I'm drawing my retracements, I'll pick my starting point wherever I see the bullish signal or the bearish signal. Mm-hmm. And I'll go from the bottom of that candle wick, and I'll well, on the left hand side.
Let's use Palantir.
Huh?
Let's use Palantir.
Palantir? Okay,
Yeah.
let me get Palantir up here.
Because you wouldn't use the bottom on Palantir.
Yeah, on Palantir, it's in a downward trend, so you're going to use the top of the reversal here.
Do you use the wick or just the body?
Usually I use the wick. I go to the highest or lowest point, so I'll use the wick. So
right there, right?
Let's see, where are you at? Sorry.
Do you see it?
All right. Yes. All right.
Okay. So that's how you do the manual part. Now,
right.
When you do it manually, it's more of an art form. Okay, people like to do it different ways. Some people use the body, some people use the wick. Some people like to go all the way back here, which I don't agree with it. But it's more of an art form, and you create your own support and resistance. But you can do it manually by going here. So you go to this. Why is this not?
Retracement. Or
there you go. Yeah. So you click it here. Alt F. That's another way to do it. There you go. Okay. Now, one final thing. Let's say, let's see, Robert, give me a favorite stock.
Go with Disney right now.
Disney. Look at this.
Piece of crap.
All right.
But.
So take a look at it, right? Look at what the Fibonacci clouds does. Look at where the signals are, and it's gone too far down in order for you to put a put spread on this thing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It looks like a falling knife. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait.
How about Microsoft? Let's take a look at Microsoft.
You want to look at Microsoft? Okay.
That would be a better chart. I mean, it's kind of hanging in there.
Okay. Oh, I'm glad you picked up Microsoft, because let's talk about.
Yes, be a good one.
Bounces. See, this is the one where. So notice how this one is set to kind of get a sense of, hey, what if it falls further and further down, right? Where are the support lines? Because you don't have much over here. It's empty, right?
Right.
So here, you can pick out a couple of things. 786, 618. So these are huge numbers. Okay, those are very important numbers, right? So you wanted to look at Microsoft and you go, okay, this looks like a good support line. So I'm going to put on alert and reevaluate it when we get there. Okay. I mean, you just said it, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to reevaluate it once you get the alert. You're not just going to go blindly. But here, as of today, the 618 Fibonacci is around 316. So you set the alert. But, so here's the question. Do you think that Microsoft is going to retrace either here to here before it goes back up again, or is it going to go all the way down?
Right.
What are your thoughts?
I don't think it'll go all the way down. I mean, if I look at this, I'm going to probably look at around 310, like that line, whatever that is. I mean,
right there? Yeah, the 0.5.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty solid support there. But, you know, the question is it going to drop 10% to get there? I don't know, right? That's where I would do, kind of like you said, is when it gets to that 0.78, I kind of evaluate. I'd probably actually wait a couple of days and see if it's holding there or starting to turn back up before I actually did anything. Right.
So this is what I'd like to do. So here's another service that I use, which is the black box stocks.
Yeah.
And one thing that I like about it is that it gives me, let me put it on the hour. It does several things for me. Yeah, right there. So it does several things for me. It gives me the dark pool sales of the stocks that are in between institutions, okay? And it gives me the pricing. So, and the time. That's all it gives me. I don't know if this is like somebody dumping it or somebody actually buying it because they feel very strongly about the movement of Microsoft, okay? So, but what it does tell me though is that one of them feels that it's some sort of a support level, okay? So in this chart right here, all of these things are the dark pool information. So this one, these are kind of old because the closer I move in and zoom in, they disappear right there. So I'm looking at, here's the dark pool activity, and I'm looking at basically from 330 to 340. That's the bulk of it right there. Okay, yeah. So this gives me additional information to kind of get a sense of where it would be. So there's a lot of dark pool right here, 330. So maybe I'll set up another alert, $4 up in order to evaluate it and see if it bounces off of that, okay? Where is it? I'll find it. I'll find it. Horizontal, nope. Here we go. Get yourself familiar with a fixed range volume profile. Okay, this is a very helpful tool, and typically you want to be able to grab between 1 to 2 months. Okay, so let's take the fixed range volume profile, and I'm going to start from let's say October 1st all the way here. Okay, and so what this does is it gives me the volume in each of the particular pricings. So notice that there's a huge gap right here. So if I look at that, I would be like, okay, looks like 316 may not be a real support or resistance because there's a gap fill that's going to take place there.
Yeah.
Okay, I like the fact that there's more volume here and this is volume there. So 786 is the likeliest bounce if it bounces.
Yeah.
309 is kind of low, but that's the 0.5 that Robert, you were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so after February, March, you know, with inflation numbers and whatnot, it could potentially drop all the way down here. And boy, would that be a great sale.
Right.
On a fantastic stock, right? You want it to drop it there as quickly as possible so you can get back in. But that's a potential to keep in mind, right? So that's one way to use it. Or, wait, where was it? Do the 1 month. So you get a more updated information. Well, that's really just 3 weeks. Okay, so looking at it 3 weeks, this red line right here, 335, serves as a point of control over the past 3 weeks. So volume has been all over the place, but the greatest amount of people buying and selling is at that level, 335.
Yeah.
So it's fairly decent. Okay, that's good support for Microsoft. And again, it's Microsoft. If we did it for other stocks like DraftKings or Lemonade, it would be
right. No, exactly.
way down there, you know? So those are some of the ways to kind of get a sense of support resistance, and you mark it on, you know, you can do an Alt-H, so you can draw a horizontal line like this, okay? So that way, as it trades, here's the 328, that was your 786, right? Yep. So as it trades and you happen to be flipping through your list, right? Oh, Microsoft is lost. And you run into Microsoft and you see this and you go, oh, okay. This is in the middle. I can't buy it. I can't buy calls. I can't buy puts. It's just not a great time to jump in.
That's how I feel about it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now, last thing, the most important part. You may want to write this down or just rewatch the video. How do you set an alert so that way every time there's a buy signal, it tells you, and it alerts you right here. Okay.
I'm going to ask that. Yeah.
So this is what you do. You hover over the indicator. You go to the 3 dots where it says more. Click it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add an alert. And this will pop up. Okay. And so what you're doing is, let's see, shapes. Yeah. So you're leaving at, the condition is the same, it's shapes. And what you want is something that is greater than. Okay. The value will be 0 because the buy signal is a 1 and the sell signal is a 0. So this makes it easier. And just do 1 per bar since it's on a daily. So if you do this on a daily chart, it'll be by default a daily alert. If you set it on an hourly chart and you do once per bar, it'll be defaulted to an hourly. Okay. Once per minute. You know what? That just reminds me for my day trading. I should set it up on a 10-minute and see how well it works. So 1 per bar like that. Forget the webhook. That's my own web. Oh, I need to add you guys to the stock alerts. There we go. So this is a list of stocks that I have chosen. I need to clean it up this, for next year. But let me add you guys. Oh, Derek, you're on it. Okay.
Yeah, I am on it.
Okay, perfect. So Robert and David, you've been added. Okay. So what you'll do is typically in the mornings. So these were the 3 that came through this morning. Actually, at 9:30 was Visa.
Yeah, Visa had a great day today.
Did it? Yeah. So at 9:30, you would have been told there's a buy signal on a daily.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Marvel at 2:18 p.m., which is great because it's off.
Forget about Marvel.
I bought a leap on Marvel yesterday, so that was a good call.
Yeah,
oh, really?
I always forget about it.
Yeah.
I like that one though.
Yeah,
Corvo,
yeah. Corvo.
It's another one.
Yeah. XPEV, the other day was XPEV, Xerox.
Yeah, well, XPEV, was it yesterday or today? XPEV had a great day. I think it was yesterday.
This was yesterday. Yeah, this was yesterday.
XPEV killed it.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it. So this is what you do, right? Now, and what you do here is you leave it open-ended, okay? Once per bar, open-ended. You can actually notify on the app. So if you download Telegram on your phone, it'll notify you on your app. Do you want to pop up? So you're on the computer screen and you want that thing to actually pop up so you see it. So click pop up. Are you, do you want to get an email? It's fine, do that. So it'll send it to the email that you have signed up with Tradingview, okay? So I would do these 2. And this is what it automatically comes out. So what you can do is you can change it to Microsoft buy signal.
And you said that when you put in the value, 0 is going to be a buy signal, 1 is going to be a sell signal.
It has to be greater than. So if it's a greater, if you change it to greater than, and the value is 0, okay? And it goes to 1. That'll send you, that's the buy signal.
Okay.
Okay. So this is
if
how
you
you
want to be notified on a sell signal, you would do less than and then put in 1. And that way, when it goes from 1 to 0, it would give you an alert on a sell signal.
Let me see. Yeah, you can do it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, less than. So, okay, so let's finish this. I'm going to create a Microsoft buy alert, set up like that. Now you can immediately go to the same thing. Okay, and now we're going to go less than. Okay. 1 once per bar. And this will be Microsoft sell, create. And then you're done.
Okay.
So you